Good morning, and today is that of the 18th of May 2019. Good weekend. It's a Saturday. I'd like to welcome you to the Money Charts channel. All bets, trades of the like, that within each his own risk and their own reward. Let's start off with some gold and silver very quickly before moving into cryptocurrency technical analysis. But to me, this is something you can buy. And I guess if you know how to do it, it's not too hard. You can sell within cryptocurrency. I've never tried selling my precious metals, at least nowhere, not any time in the past recent years. But the price is looking to go lower, maybe. We have this possible failed breakout on gold because after it broke out of this resistance at around 1288, it had this beautiful up day on May 13th, a couple pausing above where it needed to. So holding and staying within the 18 or previous level, 18 average of closes area, it didn't do it. It is below the 18 average of lows, which is where that must hold area to me is. Will it be able to hold and stay above it? Well, we'll have to wait until the next month session on Monday because this market is closed now to find that out. As far as silver is concerned, its price action has broken down below its level of key support levels between 1463 down to 1457 change, and is now at about $14.38 US, and has been spending pretty much its entire time below and within the 18 average, well, below the 18 average of highs, with this one small rally failed attempt here near the start of the third week of March. It's now at levels not seen since early December of 2018, and this means, especially if Bitcoin prices continue to go higher, that the prices to buy these metals, and especially silver, will continuously be much cheaper priced in BTC. As far as Bitcoin is concerned, let's transaction into that next. But before we do that, let's take a look at its dominance. And at least according to the trading view calculated by that such on the crypto cap for Bitcoin, about 59%, probably a little less by a couple percents maybe, but either way, noticeably and well noticeably well more than half. It has I put these Fibonacci lines from this low to this high in, and we've been seeing its support and congest within this area over the last 3 days as Bitcoin is losing its dominance over that period of time after and still having a significant amount over such from the April lows. And of course, on the weekly term time frame, this is a spot where it's managed to break out. So this is either it's not a reversal of trend. I don't know why I was thinking that. It's either a start of an amazing leg higher of a break of this resistance, and I'm saying start even though there's five green candles, or it's a failed breakout. And with because of the five green candles, having the this move, if you want, I mean, I know it's not a market trade or whatnot, but and to me, it's not a pierce above as it is anyway. Or excuse me, it is a pierce above. It's not really a failed breakout too much if that does so. But regardless of the fact whether this high is big enough from this one to deem it either A, making a break above, or B, piercing above. I don't think it matters either way because regardless of the fact, for it to have this move, if it fails the 18, well, a lot of times within other charts, maybe it'll show continued weakness from there. But overall, from each of these decent sized moves, if you try to explain each one of them, like why did this go way down February 27th, March 6th, and that's when the bulk coins went way high. And then what happened June 12th all the way up to December the 4th with some nice volatility in between. Well, that was a spot where Bitcoin was going up and altcoins were basically going sideways or down against the dollar. Thus, they were going way down against Bitcoin. And then from December the 11th up to about January the 8th, that was that huge altcoin rally where altcoins were going up depending on its, and I call those a dartboard rally. That was about 4x for this coin, 10x for that coin, 50x for that coin. Oh, only 3x for that one. But they were all going up against Bitcoin. And then this move up to April. Well, this was the April Fool's rally that I talk about. The April Fool's rally of 2018, where all the altcoins did well. And then this move in here, or the down move for altcoins, that was Bitcoin's going down or going sideways, staying in the $6,000, $8,000 range, and altcoins going down in price. And now this move here has been the breakout of Bitcoin, with altcoins not having spectacular gains themselves, and that's where it stands today. Moving on to Bitcoin, starting off within a weekly term time frame as price action has managed to continue to stay and rise above the 18 average since leaving it on the week of April the 1st of this year. Last year was an April Fool's rally. Maybe well this year, if it is, we're already third week into April or May rather, or after April, and still looking good. Not resisting this area here, and technically not even supporting it as of yet, at least. And this week's session is in at a plus 4.7% up week with obviously intra-move volatility. One of those free for all situations. Okay, this thing is up so extended that it could easily have high volatility and just surpass some of these upper levels, and who knows what kind of form or how far it goes because of its status that it's in. And at the same point, it is extended from these 18 average of highs. It did not come back to where it came from here. Now we'll see it's a long way extended to where the next place where it would come from, which is around 5250. So either way, if I'm going to look and say, oh, 15% down, 20% up or something, yeah, okay, well, that's to be expected because we're in high volatile moves and it is a long, long ways away from both areas where just based on the 18 and based on how this has worked out towards these Fibonacci levels and just even not the Fibonacci levels, just the fact that you go up above the 18 sideways and you have three breaks above this and that's where your live currently stand. That's you're open for big moves when you're well extended above the 18 average of highs and lows for that matter too, of course, on the downside. And on the daily term time frame, it had that fast move. Oh, low 6600, and it went down to like 6,000 on Bitstamp. Crazy. High was 7950. So right off the bat, that's like 1300 volatility, 20%. I take difference of high minus low divided by low to calculate volatility. Today's session so far is just hanging in there within the 18 average of highs. And to finish it up on short-term analysis, and from that big move down, it rallied up quickly and started to grind its way lower. Managed to establish this level of support that has not been seen since, meaning when it came back down from this point, it higher load it. And after the higher low, it managed to have a rally up to the 18 average of highs and then pause it, so enough for the 18 average to flatten and start to rise at the same time. And it established level of resistance, came back down to support, retested that level, and now deeper into the 18 average correctionary phase. So to me, depending on where we leave this 18, is probably going to be a decent sized gain because as shown on the more longer term time frame, that I wouldn't be surprised if this thing can seesaw like a lot of points, either up or down. And I'll be looking for a break above this level of resistance to give me early indications towards the upside. Weakness amongst this, I'd first like to see maybe breaks down below 7,000 even or lower. But for more like time base, I wouldn't mind seeing just for status purposes only. Maybe if it's going to go below here, start to establish a level or reestablish this level of support. And then if there's any weak setups or bearish setups, then that makes it easier for stuff like that. But the market, of course, is going to do what it's going to do. And I'm not really trading this for, as a lot of people watching this channel know, I like to trade altcoins together, and then I'll be just playing around with the XYZ, the value of those coins against Bitcoin, the value of how much I trade them, the value of how much they're worth against the dollar, or how much Bitcoin is worth against the dollar. And of course, when Bitcoin prices are high, the amount of Bitcoins you own, at least Bitcoin value or so that you own in that sense, that's when profit taking measures should come at larger levels. And right now, we're not at those times, at least not by much. Because if you were to start at, say, 3,000 or 32, or from that last buy point, maybe you're getting small profits you want to profit take. But I mean, I got to think when I look at this on the very long term time frame that it's sick volatility. Either this rally is a failed move and we're probably going to go back to where we came from on here. And you can't see it on this chart, so I'll make it so you can. But either this move is a failed move and we're going to resist it and all that, and we'll come back to like where we came from, 800 to 1,000, which is like 7 times lower, 8 times lower. Or it leaves above this, and because it's not much, it's a pansy ass correction in price, literally, because it hasn't came back to where it came from. But that's fine. That's okay with markets. It's just when they do that, and it's more of a sideways and a small dip, which is what this would look like via the log chart. that moving it above this, seeing 10.4, 11.6, 12,000 kind of deal, means that we're above the 18 average of highs. It's looking like the completion of the sideways range in the secular bull market, that the odds are that you'd probably break this to decent sized levels. So then, to me, it fails this, we go back down to like 800,000, 1,200, or we break it above, and then it's like several tens of thousands, if not six figures, or probably even six figures. And if that volatility is like wrenchingly large, this is tame in comparison to things like Litecoin. And I can't say that its price correction isn't as deep because that's not fair because that is from these lows in here. But even still, the big volatility. Oh, if this move rally fails, okay, so if we go back to where we came from, we're talking about going to maybe on a conservative level $6, which would be 15, 16 times lower. Or getting above this level of resistance near 350. Yeah, you're looking at least about a 7 to 15x move, so 4 or 5,000. Yeah, we're looking at 100 now, so 50, 55, 60, maybe only 40 or 30, maybe more though, of an X return from where we stand. Volatility extreme. And I want to continue on further with Chainlink. I talked about this yesterday, and I do not now see myself buying this. It's really one thing wrong with it, only one. But that one thing is enough for me not to buy it. For if I go to my checklist or parameters of what I need for coins, there's one thing that this coin severely lacks, which is impossible to see on this chart. But its chart movement as it is spectacular. I like how this move here, coming back to this major level, up towards this previous high where it came from, 18 average of highs. And as far as even pullbacks, it even went into the 18 here, pulled back. So amongst the daily chart, yes, maybe it comes back down to this place where it came from here. That might be the. But I'm still not looking to get in because within coins and trading, to me, these are the important parameters. I'm going to show them or put them up on the screen now. And I have four of them, although multiple things are in each one as well. Number one, long term to be at least neutral, but looking for positive in terms of gains versus Bitcoin moving forward. So with the current price right now in at 12,200, that's where you would enter in if you were to buy today. Or if you put your buy order in at 10,006, that's where you put your buy order in. But there's really no big difference between those two numbers on a long-term time frame. Then does this look like something that is not overextended and going to pull down? This looks like something that's going to be good. And fundamentally, when I looked at this, as long as the company keeps their gambling site together, then spectacular gains can most certainly easily come into form. And when you look at its movements, I'm going to be talking soon about volatility, and boy, does it seem not to fail such, or at least pass it enough. It's almost like you're trying to hire somebody for a job and you're like, and really you are, at least I am, and you're like, okay, qualifications one, okay, I like your first one of part one. I think you passed the test of at least being neutral or positive as we move on to the next. And when I say positive, I mean up to peak periods. From this point to a peak period. And yeah. And a peak period would be significantly large and gains higher, reasonable amount of time for you to profit take, which means it's not a really fast flash, but 2 days is one day. Even, yeah, one day is fast enough. Okay, but you're looking for positive in terms of gains versus Bitcoin moving forward. Okay, so volatility must be great for at least one dancer, but better if they both have great moves and are not highly related coins. Because if you're looking at stuff like coins that just don't move as much, they have 7x moves, where other coins have 80x moves. Those coins go up 40%, 30% moves, where the other ones have like 2x and 3x moves. Those are low volatile coins. But at the same point, a lot of them are nicer or safer coins, especially when you look at coins like Bitcoin and Litecoin. And then, okay, so that's all great. So if you want to play those coins, and I do, I like my Litecoin. At least if you put it with one that's going to have high volatility, that means your ratio amongst those will at least have high volatile moves. But I'm looking to profit on volatility, and two for two so far for the chain link, but it's going to be two for three. It does not pass number three. Coins must be easy to store. And from looking at it, I think they will be. I think I can figure out this whole. Although I had one small problem with Exodus, like just whatever, that I'm like, oh, maybe I'll figure it out. But I don't need to look any further, at least at this time. I need to have my own keys. I want to write down my private keys like I like to do it. I want to have passwords or PIN numbers and of that sort. And then at that stage, I like it. And for that, I'd probably be fine for that. But sending to transaction ID fees to be low and sending to exchanges not slow. I don't know how fast the blockchain is, but it already failed on the transaction ID fees. For if I'm to take this coin off of Binance, it would cost me 1.8 of these coins. And at current prices of 12,000 Satoshi, that's around 20,000 Satoshi, even a bit more. And that's too much. I mean, it's bad enough. I hate having to pay 50,000 of the Satoshi on the on exchanges to get them off, and even the fact that it's like now like a buck 52 bucks out of my Trezor wallet. But Bitcoin is special. It's different, and I'll get by those situations for now. But of course, coins like Litecoin and the other ones of that nature, I like a lot more because I don't know where how that's going to fix with substantially higher Bitcoin prices amongst the transaction fees. Bitcoin prices north of 20, 50, 60, 80,000. We see stuff like, oh, $950 transaction fees. Really? That's. And then when it gets good, when it's 50,000, oh, it's only $20 to pay something. And in hyperinflation, that sounds fine and dandy, but if I'm able to get it cheaper, and methods like Litecoin, where people will be like, yeah, oh yes, I'll do business with you. I'll take cryptos, Bitcoin, Litecoin, whatever's easiest for you. Okay, well, Bitcoin cost me this, Litecoin cost me that. Yeah, what's your Litecoin address, buddy? Yeah, stuff like that. So the cost of 1.8. What happens when this coin goes to 20, 40, 60, 80,000 Satoshi? That means I'm looking at paying over 100,000. Because what's important with me after this Cryptopia, I guess you can call it Craptopia, Shittopia, Scamtopia, however name you want to give it, after losing a lot of coins on there and realizing, even the hard way, if like myself, if you were in it, even though you kind of knew better as it was and you were still in decent shape for protected and diversification on exchanges, but or protection meaning hardware wallets and having 6 different exchanges at the time. But now that's the case, I'm going to want to have my coins on there. I don't even like to have 20% of my coins on for sell orders because if I realize that these coins can have a lot of up and down fast moves, that I can just do this really fast, then I'm going to want to put my sell orders in. And then when that happens, I'm like, okay, here we are in the next many hours later. This thing sold, we'll say, at like 100 handle, and this is down to 80 handle. Okay, sweet. I can make a buyback now. I can do this. I can get a great ratio trade. I can do all this type of great stuff. And oftentimes I have to have it in there because when I see that it's going up, then I'm going to be stressing the fact that, okay, do I have 20 minutes or 30 minutes or in some cases a couple hours for me to send those coins through the exchange or through the blockchain to the exchange where I can then, of course, take them and sell them on the market. But if I have 20% available, I can sell instantly anytime I want. And then after I do that, I can buy whatever coins, move whatever I need to, put 20% of my hardware wallet onto the exchange after the transaction, and all that stuff. But I don't even want to do that. I will if I have to, and I will if it's, and I don't mind having selected small amounts on exchanges, but because of that, it's going to be impossible right now for me to play this coin. And the number 4 one, market trades at volumes and supply large enough for your position sizes. And if number 1 or number 4 is weak, then maybe tiny stakes. So if you're trying to play one that you think has a high or a much higher decent chance of going to lower or nothing, or you have one that is just not fun to trade on the exchange because it's not as large of a market, the bid-ask prices aren't as fun, and maybe sometimes even the bid-ask prices you're trying to take advantage of, but One of the reasons what I like about having easy trades is if I really need to get in or out of a market for really fast, I would like to always get the best, whatever the fair price for that current time is. That's what I want to get. And fair price for current time means like something like, well, if something's got a bid ask ratio of like 200 or yeah, maybe 800 and then 799, which is tight and perfect. I don't want to do that. I don't. I'll buy or sell there at that price. But if another place is 830 and like 770, well then that sucks to buy or sell at that type of supply. And let's go to DGB. But I really want to go to DGB for the rarity because it's not often in which what should happen half the time over the alternate happens, and that is Pierce's less. I usually say Pierce extra, but I don't usually say Pierce less, Pierce below, at least for Fibonacci. Single hour term time frame. What is up with this? I mean, really? Okay, 1800 hours on May the 15th. Price action highs at 183. No, it doesn't. That's 193 better. 193. 2 basis points below DGB. How? I mean, how? It's not supposed to pierce less. This market pierced below the 195 Fibonacci level. Has then since pierced extra 38.2 down, whatever. I don't have the 38.2 down. I can just tell that it's done it, though. Although, I'm not the greatest at picking the close to, within a couple numbers of what it would be. Anyway, it's had that pierce below, corrected within it. Little bit of a move in here, showing weakness, but not really because it's in the middle area of this sideways range. So this up move from this point in here and this down move, it's handled the down move more than anything. And I guess breaking out above this pierce below 195, we're going to 256. It should pierce extra. And it's hard for me to find situations where it pierces lower, but that was one of them. Okay, this is the monthly term chart. Still not much data, so let's go to the weekly. And the log scale not being so good on here really makes it look like it's a shittier coin than it actually is. Although anytime you see within this that you are here and you have all these times below there, then you do have to ask yourself, is this a screwed up log chart? The answer is yes. And when you look at this on, say, Coin Market Cap or anything that has a proper log scale, and Coin Market Cap does, you go to Coin Market Cap, you go to put the DGB in, you'll see the chart on there. Make sure you're viewing the Bitcoin price, and there's on the upper right hand corner you'll see log scale. If you click on that, it'll look so much better. But as far as the characteristics for DGB just written down, number one, long term to be able to at least be neutral, but looking for positive in terms of gains versus Bitcoin moving forward. I think that's a total positivity. That's a check mark. Number two, okay, A plus. A plus, I'm giving you a number two, which is very difficult for coins that are in the top 50 of the top 40. Really, I mean, it's barely in the 40 or 50, which might make it work that way. It's been in the top 15 before during its higher prices. I'm curious what it was back when it was 2,500 Satoshi, but I guess I could check on a Wayback Machine. But anyway, I'm not going to now. So number two, totally passes. Okay, coins must be easy to store. Check mark. Easily. A plus. Access with my own keys. When it can be done on my Trezor one, then and it's easy that way. Yep. Transaction fees to be low. A plus. It takes several. I don't know how many it would be to get a penny. Ooh, that would be something fun to calculate mathematically, which is something I'm going to do later in the future. Let's calculate how much it costs from the exchanges and from the Trezor wallet, based on current prices, that it would cost to get to basically zero point 0.8 well, DGB is worth like 1.3 cents. So how many transactions do I need to get to 0.7 DGB? So I guess places like Bittrex or Binance, if you're paying like 0.1 or 0.2, about 3 or 4. Okay, that's cheap. And then as far as how fast they are, it's the opposite of extremely slow. Vercoin takes 2 days. Not 2 days. 1 day. It takes 24 hours. And you should have your DGB available easily to you by 2.4 minutes for 40 confirmations. That's how crazy and great to me that is. And number four, market trades at volumes and supply large enough for your position sizes. I mean, the biggest players, this should be a check mark. And I'm not a 7-digit player. I'm far, 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 far away. I'm playing with stakes of 5 on my crypto. So I'm not a big game player, but I'm big enough where some markets are like, geez, that's tiny. Or, okay, I'm looking to make wow, if I'm making a $1,000 trade right now or $2,000 trade. Okay, that's easy to do. Yeah, that's easy to do. Okay, I want to make a $2,000 trade on a market that has 1.2 average Bitcoin per day. Maybe you might be lucky and there might be something available to you, but it's not going to be fun. All right, then. So thank you for tuning into this morning's video and have yourself a great day. Bye bye.